was decent.
All right, everyone. Our next run up is We Happy Few with SilasHalden and SQLace. Silas and Lace, the floor is yours. Good luck on your run.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is SilasHalden, and we have We Happy Few. Now, if you haven't heard of this game, it is a Orwellian dystopia horror game that the base game was originally going to be much more of a open world, you know, craft some gear and make your way through this story. So, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing one of the DLCs, which is actually the epilogue of the story. So there are going to be spoilers for the main game, but I promise, the DLCs are a lot better. They're a lot more cohesive and linear. We're not going to be doing a lot of crafting or anything like that. We actually, the unique thing about the DLC is going to be the fact that they all have their unique items. So They Came From Below has a ray gun, Library has a guitar, and We All Fall Down has a whip. So I am joined here by SQLace. I'll let you introduce yourself right here.
Hi, I'm SQLace. I am a quote-unquote speed walker of this game, because I don't actually run.
But yeah, so they're going to be helping me out with the story explanations because we're going to be skipping a lot of cutscenes because obviously it's a speed run. And I think we are ready to get started right here. So time is going to be coming up actually in a moment here. We start time at when we skip the very first cutscene. So that's going to be coming up here. I'll let you know when we're good to go on that. But yeah, so basically we are going to be playing as Victoria Bing. She is a high-class member of society that was forced off of her joy by Ollie Starkey. And now we need to find some joy. And SQLace, if you want to kind of give an idea of what this world is as we're running through this opening area, I'll let you do that. Also, a little bit of a warning, there is going to be some vomiting. It's not too explicit, but it's going to be there. And time is going to start right now.
All right, so the way that this world works is that basically this is an alternate world in which essentially World War II goes a little bit wrong. So what happens is that in this weird set place in England, and what happens is that basically the kids are sent off to another place, and all of the people are unhappy about that. And so what happens is that they create this drug called joy, and joy basically makes everybody forget everything, and it makes everybody think better.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be a little bit of like, it causes them to hallucinate and be happy, but it also makes it so they can't really do anything, and there's a lot of people starving to death and a lot of bad stuff like that as well, which is why Victoria's vomiting, you know, stuff out of her mouth, because she hasn't really eaten in a while. But we're going to be coming up to a mood booth. Normally this thing just disposes joy. However, we are not going to be doing it. We kind of realize, hey, we need to do something about this. So we're going to bully that Bobby right over there, and then we're going to make our escape through this. Alright, so if you ever played Dishonored or Mirror's Edge, you're actually going to be kind of familiar a lot with the mechanics in this game. You know, we have like the red little triggers, we have the whip right here, which is going to allow us to get up higher places, and there's going to be a level that I think a lot of you Mirror's Edge fans are going to recognize like that. Also, oh, go ahead.
The whip is very interesting in this game, in the fact that it's not only a weapon, but it's also a sort of like a parkour tool. And so that there are these things that you find around the area in which you can whip to and get up into higher bands.
Mm-hmm. So right now, Victoria Bing, unfortunately, she's what we call a downer. It's somebody who is not on their joy either because the drug no longer works for them or they've voluntarily gone off of it. So she's going to be going to her dad, who is a general. He's General Bing. And she's basically going to say, hey, people are starving here. We need to do something about it. And he's going to say, don't worry about it. Dr. Verloc will fix it. So now our next goal after this cutscene that we skip is to go talk to Dr. Verloc. But things are not going very well at his facility, if you want to go into a little detail about that, Lace.
Right. So this cutscene that we are about to skip is with General Bing. General Bing, like Silas said, is Victoria's father, and he is not entirely a great guy. He's trying to look out for the community, but not always the best interest in the community. Dr. Verloc himself is the one who created the joy, drugs. However, something is gone haywire, and
All right. Also, really quickly, we have our first little skip right here. We're gonna jump, catch on this edge, and we skip a lot of elevator walking and things like that. Also, we're gonna be picking up contraptions here, which allow us to upgrade our whip. We only need to do one upgrade. There's like a bunch you could do otherwise, but we need to do it in order to decrease its stamina usage, and that will allow us to do an upcoming fight very easily. So we need 4 of these. Normally we don't collect this one right here, but we're gonna do it for marathon safety because we also need healing bombs. Then this area coming up right here is a little bit difficult. Normally, I would just run past these enemies, turn the wheel, and go on about our merry day. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get hit once or twice. I'll do it once because, you know, want to be a little bit safe. And then we're going to kill these guys. Normally, I would just walk over here, catch this wheel on the other side of it, and move on. But sometimes they kill you, and that would not be very good. We do want to die, but not at this specific part. All right, so we're gonna come right here. This is not technically out of bounds. It's very much like bending the rules rather breaking them. That allows us to skip some other things. We're gonna grab our 3rd contraption. Keep in mind we need to get 4. And if you want to explain what's going on with her mom there really quick.
Right. So this person that you're seeing around, this woman, is actually Victoria's mother. She is an Indian woman, and we don't know exactly what's going on, but basically she is not around, and she's a hallucination.
Right. So this is the death warp. So that was actually really fast. So basically what we want to do is we go through that checkpoint, and normally you'd have to disable it if you don't want to get caught. If you go through that checkpoint, you have to fight not only the bombies that are in there, you have to fight the civilians as well, because they're also on their joy and they don't like you very much. So because we do that, everybody in this area is no longer aggroed onto us, and therefore we can come right here, use this intercom, and we don't have to fight them. That saves between 10 to 30 seconds, so it's quite a bit, even RTA-wise. But now we have gained access to the facility, and we're going to learn that this facility, it has some problems. I'll let you explain those if you'd like, Lace.
Right. So essentially these workers are unhappy with the situation that they're currently working in, and so they want to, they're essentially on strike, and they're locking Dr. Verloc in his office.
Yeah, only their version of a strike is a lot more violent. So they basically cut off the entrance to the actual facility so the bombies can't get in there and stop them. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 things. 1, take the key card from that very, very scary large man, and 2, we're going to be turning on the electricity in order to power the doors. So we power the doors, we fight that guy, we get the key card, we open the door, bombies come in, and they clean all this up. And hopefully we can get to Verloc and be like, hey, people are starving, and we need to do something about this. So this is kind of the first major parkour area of the game. We're going to be skipping kind of a lot of this, surprisingly. Hopefully, if I get this, the first jump is going to be the God jump, which is right here, and we got it, no problem. So that's going to be the first one. That's actually the easier one, even if it's called the God skip or God jump. Also, if you see me whipping before I land, it actually cancels a falling animation. It's a little bit faster than just, you know, taking the brunt of it. All right, so hopefully I can get this. This is the next little skip right here. Let's see if I get it. We got it. Awesome. So sometimes you won't be able to latch on to that cord thing right there, and that's very, very bad because you have to take the long way around. But thankfully we got it. Going into the second room to turn on the lever, we're going to grab our 4th contraption, and we're going to do it right here, right now. We're going to grab this. It's called Strong Arm. That allows us to use a lot less stamina. Also grabbing those for marathon safety, and let's see if I can get the animation skip. We got it. So normally that laser stuns her and she goes, and it's kind of terrifying. But if you time a mantle at the correct time, you'll still take the damage, but you won't actually get the animation of your character getting stunned. So this is our big guy. Obviously, he's very strong. The main kind of component about him is the fact that he actually can't get stunned or by your shove attack. But, you know, we just whip him a bunch of times and hope for the best. So that actually went very, very well. As you can see, all the bombies are in here. They've raggled up all the co-workers. And it's kind of funny because they act like it was just a simulation or a test, but clearly it wasn't. So now I'll let you explain this cutscene, Lace, as we get into the next little part of this game.
Right. So Dr. Verloc Victoria goes up to Dr. Verloc, explains to him what's going on, what she's found. Dr. Verloc is also not on Joy, but he explains that, let's just try and ignore it. It'll be all right, we promise.
So now they kind of realize, hey, Victoria's a bit of a downer, and we don't like that in our society. So they send the doctors, who are kind of the men in black, to basically kidnap us, kill us. They want to do something with Victoria, and obviously that would be slow, so we can't do that. But now we're coming up onto the kind of the hardest part of the game here, which is the curfew. So this town has a curfew. If you couldn't expect it, would have never guessed that from a dystopian tyranny. But obviously, we can't go outside during time, so everybody's going to be alerted to us, and everybody's going to want to harm us. And obviously, that would not be a good thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to run past everybody, and we need to turn a handle. If you remember in the beginning, there was that area with the 3 plague victims. Excuse me, sir. Get out of my way. 3 plague victims. Now, we need to do that, but with all of these zombies, all of these doctors, and all of these machines trying to hurt us. So hopefully, I'm able to do this first try. If not, I have a backup strategy. We're going to be running around this way. We're going to try and alert them over to this way. I'm going to stand right here. Going to grab this. And let's see if we get it. That guy's going to kind of go like, hey, what the hell are you doing here? And it looks like we got it. Just barely. Ooh, if we hit there, then you don't actually get that. So very happy we got that first try. So now we're going to go over to the mood booth allocation facility. And I'll let you describe that for us, Lace.
Right. So the mood booth allocation facility is basically just a facility that basically distributes the joy off to these little mood booths. If you look around the area, there are these sort of looks like telephone boxes, but in reality they are just boxes that you dispense joy for you. What we're doing is that we're shutting it down so that no more joy goes in these boxes.
All right, and right now we got the conductor. We have to open that door to get the skip right here. There we go. World record holder here, by the way, folks. But yeah, that can always be a little bit finicky. So now we need to go to destroy it. And we're trying to basically cut it off so people will eventually realize that, hey, we're all starving to death. Let's do something about it. Victoria Bing is very similar to Batman, She's not the hero that this world deserves, but she's the hero it needs. So right there, we short-circuited everything, and now the facility no longer works. I don't know why, that one little thing is able to cause it, but that's okay.
I should also figure to mention that the dart gun does not have any ammo, which is very convenient.
Yes, it is unlimited ammo. It can be used to open up the conductors, and it can also be used to stun enemies, which we do both of during this. This is going so far. All right, so now what happens is the mood booths no longer have joy in them. However, the water is actually spiked with joy in it. So, of course, a bunch of British people, when they see the opportunity, hey, let's make some tea with joy in it. So now we need to go to the waterworks, and shut it down, basically. So that way, nobody has any access to joy, and hopefully that will, allow them to realize, hey, again, we're starving to death. We need to do something about it. Also, now is kind of a good time for donations because we're not actually aggroed on anybody. We're a pretty much normal member of society, so it's going to be mostly just a bunch of running here.
Smash the water treatment plant. And all that
All right, well, we do have a donation from Paul in the Mall. $34 to give us the $100. Thank you, Radio Optimism, mods, runners, and chat for making this such a decent event. Greatly anticipating what this event has the potential to become.
Awesome. Thank you for the donation here. And then, Lace, if you would like to do some lore explanation as to why we're going here and what's going to happen in these upcoming cutscenes, I would love for you to do so.
Alrighty then. So the waterworks facility is, as he explained, is spiked with joy. So the reason for that is because at one point, when joy was first being distributed, people didn't quite enjoy that fact. So what the bright idea that Victoria's Bing's mother did was she basically said, why don't we just spike the water with joy? That way everybody has to be on joy.
Yeah, so obviously that's very, very bad, and you know, there's a bunch of problems with that. But for now, we're gonna try and shut that down. And I said before that this game has a lot of inspiration from two games, Dishonored and Mirror's Edge. This is where the Mirror's Edge inspiration is gonna become very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Apparent. That's what I was trying to say. It's gonna be coming up right here. We're gonna take this elevator down, and if you look around, this is definitely going to remind you of something with all the pipes, the red, the parkour. But yeah, so that's also Dr. Verloc right there. So as you can see, we're going to be climbing up that. But first, we need to get into the main and only kind of combat section in this game. So now he's going to be sending a bunch of these guys here. I'm not sure why they're kind of hanging out in these little pods, but this is where the stamina comes in. This makes this area a lot easier and a lot quicker as well. So we're going to be fighting these guys, just going to be kind of slapping them down. The whip is a little finicky, I will admit. A lot of the times you'll click it and your character will attack twice instead of once. It's kind of weird. It can sometimes work, but you just kind of have to learn the timing of it, so to speak. Right here, we're going to whip these guys. We got two more batches of enemies to deal with. We got this batch right here. Then we got this big guy. What we're going to do is we're going to pull out our dart gun, stun him down, and then just mash left click as fast as we can. And it looks like he's about to go down. Well, right there. There we go. So now we can actually destroy the rest of the facility here. Gonna climb up here. It looks like we're gonna try and cut off the supply with this. Unfortunately, though, it's not gonna work. But of course, it's convenient that we picked up a dart gun for this exact situation. And bam! So now we're going to get into the second part of this level, which is going to be the parkour section. So we actually do have one really cool skip here that I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do. So if we die, it's not that big of a deal, but I actually, even though I played this game casually, I do not remember the non-speedrunning way to do it. So hopefully we get a first try. Like, coming up here, we have another elevator ride. Now normally, what you would do here is you would climb up here, you get off there, you get to run all the way around up this pipe, back through here, back through here. Hey look, we got a yellow thing to jump onto. Hey look, we have no platform. And we got it! Awesome, I'm so glad we got that. So, nice. We skipped all of that. And now we can come on over here. And we got one more little skip in this area. Let's see if we get it. Gonna climb onto this thing, jump right here, and look at that. We are good to go, and we have now officially escaped the waterworks. All right. Lace, do you want to give us an explanation of what we're doing here right now?
Right, so now that everybody's off their joy, people don't take it very well. In fact, not even Victoria Bing herself took it very well when she first got her off her joy. You'll see a lot of somewhat sensitive material as we go through this area, but basically people are not happy, and Victoria's just going to go back to her house and try and lie low.
Right, you know, it's a very classic, you know, go back home, it's kind of like Shaun of the Dead, you know? Sit back and wait for all of it to blow over. That's kind of her plan here, honestly. It's not that good of a plan, but it's a plan nonetheless. So we can see a little bit of chaos and panic into the streets. Gonna climb onto this thing, do a little skip right here. That's gonna save us, you know, maybe half a second. And oh no, in this cutscene, we get captured by the Bombies and we get sent to jail. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal. This is kind of where the Dishonored inspiration comes in. Matched through a bunch of cutscenes where Victoria Bing has kind of a dream about her mother, about what's going on right here. And we also don't have our whip, our healing items, or our dart gun. But we do have a conversation with Johnny Bolton. I'll let you summarize that and kind of explain what we're doing here next, Lace.
Right. So Johnny is a bit of a weirdo in the community. And one of the things that he is caught for, the reason why he's in jail, was because he tried to blow up Victoria Bing's house because he didn't quite like Victoria Bing before she was on Joy, or before she got off Joy. So now what we're doing is we're basically going and grabbing our stuff, escaping jail, and we're going to go back to our house, grab the explosives, and we're going to go blow up the Joy facility.
That's right. Victoria Bings realizes, hey, you know, all those things I did, that's a temporary measure. If we get rid of Joy permanently, then there is nothing that they're going to do, and they're going to have to actually, you know, discuss what is going on here. So we're going to be escaping around this way. We got a lot of Bobbies around who are going to be trying to do very painful stuff to us. Now, obviously, we don't want to do that, so we're just going to open this as quick as we can. Come over here. We got our whip back, which is very, very important for this section, because that lets us get up here, and therefore will allow us to escape through this way. So we're not out of the woods just yet. We need to climb up here, and we're going to be at least on the very surface level, and we should be able to get out of here no problem, barring any issues. And then we'll come up to what's probably the second hardest part of the game, which is kind of the plagued sewers. I'll let you explain why that is the case here. But basically, there's plague victims, and they do not only a lot of damage, they will attack you immediately. Whereas, like, literally everybody else in this game will kind of, like, give you some time. Whoops, that's not good. Will give us some time to, like, relax and chill. The plague victims, they see you, they're going to be immediately aggro to you, and they're going to immediately start swinging. Like the Bobbies you see right there, they blow the whistle. That actually will like avoid them from hitting you for a second. The plague victims, they don't have a whistle to blow, so they'll just slap you in the face instead.
Would you like me to explain something?
Yeah, if you want to kind of go over this area and kind of explain like what we're going to be doing next and all that stuff.
Right, okay. So coming up ahead is that basically we're just going to go over to the toy facility. We're going to go and plant these bombs in very specific areas of the facility. We have 3 bombs and we need to plant each one of them. And there are going to be people attacking us while we're doing it. Thankfully, they tend to ignore you while you're planting the bombs. But regardless, it's going to be very tense and it's very energizing.
Yes, very, very, very dangerous. But we are almost done here. We're going to come right over here, and we are back at our manor. So kind of a fun fact, a lot of this game has to do with memory and what you remember, what you don't remember, and all that stuff. If you play Act 3 of this game, you actually go to this location, but it is completely different, and that's on purpose. It's actually a theme to not have every single one of their storylines match up. Like if you play We Happy Few, if you do Act 1 and 2, you know that there's a big, big difference in how Susan Boyle and I can't remember the other character's name. Very, very big difference on how they actually see the world and how they actually see each other. So this is actually like, you know, meant to be intentionally like not make much sense. But here we go. We're gonna grab 3 of these explosives. You know, it's very kind of funny how it's like literally the cartoon version where it's just a bundle of dynamite, but that's going to work. So we're going to be heading over here. This is kind of a dangerous section. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to reload this gun first, just before we go through this way, so we're all good to go on that. I'm going to try and go for a little bit of a skip here. Normally, if you go through this area, if you don't go through it immediately, you're going to get shocked and zapped by one of the TV screens. We're going to try and avoid that, because again, you know, taking damage and getting stunned is very, very slow. So let's see if we can do this right here. Going to climb up onto this statue thing. Run over here, climb onto this statue thing. Pet the pony, because that's good luck. Gonna grab onto that. Gonna conductor. Nope, we're not gonna get it. That's fine. If you hit the conductor, you can immediately go through this window, but that's fine. We got Johnny Bolton's plans, and now we are gonna be heading back to the Joy facility. And look, it's looped back around to the square one. All right. So there is a little bit of a soft lock here that can happen. I think I've figured out what triggered it. I didn't know for the longest time, but I believe I've kind of found out what it is, and I think it's just like me going too fast. So I'm gonna be a little bit slow here. Gonna hit the conductor, reload this, pull out this, and we pray that it doesn't crash. See here, and unfortunately we did get it. So what happens there is that I have no idea what happens. Like, I don't know why it does it, but unfortunately it just gives us a black screen. It doesn't actually continue on. It's kind of a shame that happened. We have to go back, just not a whole lot, but hopefully it's not the case. I've gotten that literally like once before, so I'm very, very upset that actually happened. But normally there the cutscene's supposed to play, and I think it gets, I don't know, I think it gets stuck or something like that. I really haven't figured out what exactly causes it, so hopefully it doesn't do it here again. I have had multiple world record run attempts that were like going so well. I was like 10 seconds ahead, and then that just happened. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, because that would be very embarrassing. Gonna take this right here. All right, let's try it again. Attempt number 2. Ah. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really sure. We might not be able to finish. This soft lock is very, very annoying. And unfortunately, there is no way to save, so I can't just load up past it. So we'll give it one more try here, but unfortunately, we might actually need to call it here. But basically, the last part of it is going to be we set up the dynamite sticks on the exhaust fumes. And what that does is it allows us to blow up the facility because it's not able to like regulate the temperature that's actually in there. So then we have a big, chase sequence, and then we kind of, tell everybody, hey, we destroyed the facility. Also, you're starving to death. Have fun. And people are not too happy about that. All right, I'm gonna give it a second. I'm gonna wait a moment. I don't know exactly what causes it, so we're gonna give it one last try here. And if not, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish. But come on, game. Yeah, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to kill it here because there's nothing that I can do about it. Like what happens is normally there's supposed to be a cutscene there and it's supposed to do it. I'll give it one more try because I actually kind of planned for this, hence why the estimate was so high. Normally it's about 24 minutes. We would have already been done if it wasn't for this, but yeah, I do apologize about this, folks. Unfortunately, like it's nothing that I can do. It's literally just like, hey, you're doing this during a marathon. Cool. Let me ruin that for you. All right. So I'm gonna try doing things a little bit different here. I'm gonna wait until the enemies are no longer spotted. I'm gonna be facing my character's camera into a specific position, and we'll see if that helps. You know what I'm also gonna do? I'm gonna reach over here. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn off these. I'm gonna wait for those guys to disappear so that we're not aggroed onto them. I'll also heal right here. All right, one is no longer aggro, and come on, buddy. There we go. All right. Gonna hit that. I come right here. Yeah, unfortunately what happens is that it misses the trigger for the actual cutscene. I'm not sure why. Like, if you can hear, I'm moving around and I just can't do anything. I can't, like, interact with any of the items. I can jump fine. I can throw bottles. Can't throw bottles. I can. But unfortunately it misses the trigger. So unfortunately we're gonna have to cut it here. I do apologize. The ending sequence is actually really cool. We go through basically the entire Joy facility. We do a lot of bad stuff, and then we quickly run up through the edge. We go off the roof access. We do an awesome epic dive at the end to catch one of the scaffoldings, and then we walk through. And basically one of the main lines of it is, I have become death, destroyer of worlds. And it's kind of a very fitting theme to this, where is it worth having the knowledge and the freedom if you have all of this chaos and anarchy that comes through it? But yeah, so I definitely would recommend playing this game. It's kind of good that we don't show you the ending, because then you can play it yourself and figure it out. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed at least what we could get up to. I do apologize that we had to end it here. Especially a shout out to SQLace for helping me out with a lot of the lore and explaining the cutscenes. But yeah, if you guys are interested, we do have a Discord for this game. You know, there's a bunch of different categories you could do. You could do all the acts. You could do the full game, which has a lot of cool skips. You could do the DLC trilogy, where you go through every single DLC. But if you have any questions about this or this, game, feel free to ask me. I'm a pretty nice guy. But yeah, I'll pass it back over to Warwick. SQLace, if you want to do any plugs, feel free to do so first.
Nothing much. Just go follow Silas and possibly myself. That's really it. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Decent Speedies. Awesome marathon, and I will see you guys hopefully at another point.
All right, everyone. That's why we just say hashtag just marathon things. Unfortunately, that does happen at some points. And I know there's been a few games that I've played that has that same issue, and there's just no reason, no rhyme or reason behind it. But we'll make sure that Silas gets back in the near future, and you will be able to see a complete run of We Happy Few. Coming up next, we do have our closer, the Mega Man X4 race between Johnny Go, Just Lee Belmont, and this is JC. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for this one. It is going to be some crazy stuff. We're going to need a few minutes to set up for it, maybe a little bit longer than the normal break, but we will try and not have you all wait around for very long. And we really do appreciate that you all are sticking around and getting us up to $400 on the event. You are incredible, and thank you so much. We've got one more run left, and that will be the conclusion of our first Decent Speedies event. So we'll be right back after this quick break.